right, so Andrew, we're in the middle of a crime wave right now.
Yep.
It's not the first time. It won't be the last. But a lot of people are wondering what we can do to improve crime in our area. We already have the answer to this. And you actually led the way, as far as I know, with the first street that implemented private security in Guiones. So where did you used to live?
I used to live on the street right in front of Agua Tibia and the beach hostel on the left, basically right in the heart of K section.
All right. So you lived there for a good time, and you were the only full-time resident, if I remember right.
I was the only full-time resident. I essentially was trying to somehow police the street, keep an eye out. The neighbors were calling me, asking me if I could, you know, whatever I could be doing or keep an eye out. And it's just unsustainable. You can't walk your street every night. You can't go out with your dog. It's, you know, you're probably going to get hurt or in trouble or both.
Yeah. The laws are also stacked against you. In Costa Rica, it's very easy for a thief to get right back out unless you catch them doing it yourself.
And if you want to try vigilantism, and that thief does get back out, and it's a really nasty dude, guess who he's going to come looking for?
That's a pretty good point. So you were the only full-time resident on the street in the K section. Robberies are happening, what?
3-4 times a week at that point.
Right. So it's basically a vending machine for thieves. You're trying to police this yourself to no avail. It's not sustainable and it doesn't work. So what did you do?
I hired a private security company to have a guard. Just a set of eyes. Doesn't have to be somebody with a gun or anything like that, but just a set of eyes, and they would walk around between the houses. We had little checkpoints that
at what times?
Hit from basically from sundown to sunup.
Okay.
And the rash of robberies, we had a couple that were thwarted, and then they stopped altogether.
So you implemented private security, and you went from being robbed multiple times per week to basically zero.
Correct.
All right. So private security works.
It did for me.
Okay, now here's the challenge. Getting people in Nosara to communicate is often difficult. Yeah. Then when we have a lot of crime, people hop to social media and everyone has this suggestion or that suggestion. Let's take to the streets. Well, we know that doesn't work.
None of these suggestions are new.
None of them are new. Yeah. The one thing we know for absolutely certain that works is private security.
Yeah.
So you did it in Guiones. We're the first street to do so, and to this day, it's still working.
To my knowledge, that street still has a guard that still walks around in the evening time.
Okay. So up in Las Huacas, that became a bit of a vending machine for thieves as well. Mm-hmm. That neighborhood got together and implemented private security measures and roaming guards, and crime has drastically went down. Okay. So Andrew, when you linked up your street, it was mainly vacation rentals and you're the only full-time resident. People weren't all here at the same time. How did you find them? What'd you do?
I acted as a liaison, so I made a couple phone calls, and basically we just did it all through email. Mm-hmm. Explained what was going on. People knew what was going on.
So a property manager knew who owned this, and they were able to reach him, and you were able to kind of connect it that way.
If I couldn't find somebody directly, I went to their property manager, or I went to their real estate agent who had sold them the property. Mm-hmm. Said, how do I get a hold of this guy? But at this point, if it's all rentals, it's all done through a property manager, so that should be relatively easy. I wish I had the luxury at the time that I organized it to just go through the property manager.
Well, today in 2019, we definitely have that capacity. Every street in Guiones, there's a property manager who hopefully would readily pay a private security guard once a month and to coordinate it. So you did it yourself. So good on you. But these days, it really shouldn't be that hard.
No, it should be very easy.
What's stopping us from doing that right now, all through Pilata and Guiones?
Shouldn't be anything. Shouldn't be anything stopping them. And it's basically the only thing that I would imagine would be the thing stopping people from doing this is not realizing that their time acting as a vigilante is so unsustainable and such a waste of your time that it's just so much better to let somebody else who's trained to deal with it deal with it. And the cost is not that high, especially when you're splitting it among neighbors. A lot of times maybe it's out of sight, out of mind. But I think we're at the point now where everybody knows that this is an issue. We have to get for the well-being of the families that are coming here to visit, for the well-being of the long-term people that live here, just in general for the economic success of Nosara. It's such a fractional amount what it costs to have these people here, these roving guards that you could have. It's such a fractional amount compared to the overall detrimental cost to our economy of our town as a whole, it's a joke. So I know that it works. I did it. It worked really well. I moved away from the street. They still have the guard, and they're doing great.
Right on, man. Thanks for sharing that. And you're right. We know that it works. Guiones Beach Club gets robbed a fraction of how much just across the street in the K section gets robbed.
Yeah, there you go.
Las Huacas gets robbed a fraction of everywhere else at this point in time. Your old street doesn't get robbed. And we have 1 or 2 other places that have done it. So we know it works. It's just a matter of unifying folks. And I hope that people listen to your story and what we're talking about right now and take action.
Yeah, I hope they do.
But sundown to sunup, somebody just writing down the license plate and...
Or if they see somebody go up the street or somebody's walking up the street, maybe the guy's a legitimate construction worker who's leaving work late. Maybe he's not.
Just, hey, how's it going? Can I help you?
Yeah. Hey,
that's what they did in Las Huacas. When you pull up there, somebody's like, hey, where are you looking for? We'll try to help you get there.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all it is.
Man, thank you so much. Seriously.
Thank you.
All right.